All right, for your cool down, you'll go through the spinal hygiene movements. So there are 6 spinal hygiene movements. The first 3 being neck movements. So with all of these movements, you really want to focus on controlling your breathing, starting to slow down, breathing in and out through the nose only, and performing all of these movements in a nice, slow, and controlled manner. You can do anywhere between 10 to 30 reps for each movement, whatever you have enough time for. Once again, just spend some time, at least 5 minutes at the end of your workout, calming down, cooling off before you head back into the rest of your day. So the first movement that you have are neck flexion and extension. So with the 3 neck movements, you're solely working your neck. So you're going to tuck your chin to your chest and then look up. And if it helps you think about kind of drawing an arc with your chin on the way up and way down, to help get full range of motion, please go ahead and think about it like that. So like I said, go ahead and do that for time or knock out 10 to 30 reps. The second movement that you have is neck lateral flexion. So for this one, you're just going to bring your ear to your shoulder. Notice I did not say bring your shoulder to your ear. So once again, just working on our neck range of motion and thinking about bringing our ears down to our shoulders. Your next movement is neck rotations. So for this, you're just going to look side to side, trying to turn your head as far as you can without any type of pain or really without any type of forced movement. All right, so spend some time with those. Working on neck range of motion, it doesn't matter what sport you play or whether you play a sport at all, is hugely important. Where your eyes go, the rest of your body follows. Your eyes are kind of attached to your head, and your head's pivots off of your neck. So you want to make sure that you can move your neck through its full range of motion so that you can perform the rest of your movements in your daily life a whole lot easier. So once you finish those 3 neck movements, then you're going to move on to the spinal movements. So for this, they are full body movements. The first one being the spinal roll. So for this movement, you're going to start by tucking your chin down to your chest, rolling your spine, starting by rolling through your upper back, through your mid back, through your low back, letting your hips sink back as you continue to reach down towards the ground and rolling. Once you get to your final resting place, from that position, you're going to start by looking up, again with your eyes leading the movement with your neck, flattening out your upper back, your mid back, your low back. There will be an arch, fully extending with the hips, continuing to lead the movement with your eyes and with your neck, and performing a mini back bend. So with that movement, we are fully segmenting the spine, trying to go through a full range of motion with each piece of the spine. If you notice that movement is very difficult for you, spend more time with that. If you notice that when you do this movement, you feel like you move in blocks or in chunks, so you try to go here, and then you can't really round through your upper and mid back, and instead everything just moves together. All right, we're missing some range of motion there. So you want to make sure that you spend some time in this movement, focusing on where your ribs are moving, what your spine is doing, what your hips are doing, how your feet are connected to the ground, and of course what your eyes are doing, and what your body just feels like throughout this movement. All right, so do this movement. Make sure you are slow and controlled as you go throughout this movement. The second movement that you have are spinal rotations. So You can clasp your hands in front of you. Once again, you're leading the way with your eyes, your head, and your neck. You're going to rotate them to one direction. Continue to rotate your neck as you rotate your upper body. Leading with your eyes. Your upper back, mid back will rotate, and then your low back and your hips will follow. Notice that my feet stay firmly planted on the ground. I don't let them open up. You want to make sure that they stay connected, and then rotate back to the beginning. And then switch sides. So once again, moving all the way through the spine, rotating segmentally throughout that entire movement, giving the spine some love. And then the last one is spinal lateral flexion. So for this one, you can take your hands up overhead. If you would like to clasp them together, you can, keeping the arms nice and straight. Feet are straight ahead. Ribs and hips are stacked as you do this movement. And then from here, you want to think about leading with the ribs as you side bend over to one side. When you side bend over, you should feel that same side hip lifting up to meet that bottom rib. And it might not be a huge movement, it might be kind of subtle, but that will allow you to fully extend through this side of your body. Once again, going nice and slow with that movement. And of course, the very last thing that you have are cross crawls. You can do these every single day, strengthening the back side of your body, improving that cross crawl coordination. I realize you can't really see my entire body here, but I do have another video on these somewhere on my YouTube channel, so you can always just search it for it. But for the cross crawl movement, your arms will be out straight. I like to think in a karate chop type position. So palms open, thumbs up towards the sky, arms are straight, eyes are looking down. If you have somewhere nice that you can rest your forehead on the ground, go ahead and do that. If not, just leave it lifted up a little bit. Your legs will be fully extended and your toes are tucked, ankles are completely dorsiflexed. And then from there, you're going to lift opposite hand and opposite foot at the same time. All right, you should be nice and precise, controlled movements. You should feel this working through your shoulder complex, and you should feel your glutes and your hamstrings lit up. If you primarily feel this in your low back, you need to do this movement more often and get those glutes to fire up when you do these. You do not need to kick your leg up super high in order to do this movement effectively. Rather, just stay nice and precise with the movement. Don't lift the leg up as high, as you'll start to feel that more in your low back, which is not really what we want from this movement. You can start by working with 1 minute and all the way up to 5 consecutive minutes. That is your cool down. Once you finish the spinal cross crawls, or the cross crawl supermans, roll on over, focus on deep breathing. Once again, all through the nose, in through the nose, out through the nose, spending a few minutes there.